Okay. What do you think, Kevin?
I concur.
Oh. Well, no, I predict that in 2027, the political climate in Michigan is going to be much better. Oh, Kevin.
Yeah, that was well said.
Do I have a mic? There we go. I didn't hear
There it is.
myself at first.
Yeah, you're good.
Welcome to the Stick the Plan podcast.
Welcome, guys. Welcome. It is another Monday.
It is. New intro, new background, and also the next president of the United States, J.D. Vance.
Yeah. I'm not sure if the audio was going through there, but at least I have captions. So.
Oh, I heard it through the headphones, but we don't know if it did on air.
I was trying to figure it out up there. That was weird.
Oh, that would suck.
Yeah.
You know, Jay, what stuck out to me, and probably many of our viewers have seen that clip.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty big.
But here, let's be clear. She tried to run somebody over with her car.
It doesn't matter who it was.
Right. Now, I've seen, like some Fox News reports and things that I've read where law enforcement can respond in self-defense when somebody's using a vehicle or as a weapon.
Yeah, it is
Anybody can. If a crazy person's trying to run you over and you are carrying, you can try to take them out the same way the ICE agent did. Am I not right?
As far as I know. I mean,
it's a deadly weapon.
Yeah,
3,000, 2,000 pound weapon.
If you try to run somebody over with a car and you don't succeed, it is assault with a deadly weapon.
Now, you know, you and I have talked about this privately. It's been the topic of conversation all weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very sad. Very, very sad. And up until this morning when I seen a super duper slow-mo of it, I seen some other slow motions of it, I still kept saying to myself, I think it's a justifiable self-defense.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, Yeah, could he have gotten out of the way? Did he shoot after he was hit? But watching the super duper slow mo, he shot 3 rounds. By the way, all hitter.
Yeah,
That's a badass.
hell of a shot.
And it simultaneously, it was quicker than what you see or what you normally see.
Right. Oops, sorry.
So, and then he got hit. It was almost all like in the same motion, but the shots went boom. And then he got hit, and then of course the car went over and crashed in. No, I was thinking this, Kevin. All right, there was the ICE agent at the window,
Right.
and the ICE agent shooting the subject in the car. I did think, well, that's pretty close to your partner. They train you. You got to be able to take the shot. You need to defend yourself, but in a safe manner.
Right.
But then again, that tells me that the shot needed to be taken.
Well, I agree. I think
because he was risking others.
It's a split.
He's not that irresponsible, I'm not thinking.
Yeah. And I think he was confident, obviously confident in his shot.
Yeah.
But
I'm thinking the other agents get smoked by him out at the range.
Regularly.
They're like, oh, yeah, that guy.
He's
got a bunch of trophies and stuff.
And crap, yeah.
You know how them cops are. They love to shoot and go out and do that. No, terrible.
It is a tragedy. But I think it was a self-inflicted tragedy.
Fuck around and find out. And I think they've been fucking around and hadn't found out for a while, and they found out the other day.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, they've been out doing that. Here, me and the wife talking about it. There's this police issue outside our house. Well, I don't care where you're at. You're at the mall.
Mm-hmm.
And even I look and I go, hey, they're doing that guy wrong. You know what I'm going to do? Stay the fuck away from that.
I cover a lot of it in my other show, and I always bring up.
It could be my business, but I'm not inserting myself right here and right now.
Yeah, that's how other people go to jail.
That's how you get killed.
Yeah, I mean,
or
maced,
and when you insert yourself, you can get hurt by the person you think you're helping.
Yeah,
I've had that happen.
Yeah, I mean,
we all know that they were not there out of we just dropped the kid off at school, and we felt compelled to get involved in this. That's how they get paid.
Yeah, exactly.
What if that pays well?
I don't think so.
What if there's life insurance?
I also don't think so.
By the way, did you see? I think it's $1.5 million. Old girl gets on the GoFundMe for her, the wife. But they started a GoFundMe for the ICE agent. He's at $600,000 or $700,000.
Oh yeah, I figured he was
because he's hiding. He's in hiding because they exposed his name and who he is, and him and his family are in hiding.
Yeah, because of crazy people on the left.
It's amazing. I was going to announce this later. So the next county commission meeting here in Jackson is January 20th, Tuesday the 20th at 7 o'clock at the Tower Building. Regular scheduled. Mm-hmm. I was sent a flyer. It's the shittiest flyer I've ever seen. You had to do some investigation what it was.
I hate that.
Maybe Democrats know what it was. But it was come to the county commission meeting, show her support, pack the room. Yep. Now, this was put out hours after the incident happened in Minneapolis.
Okay.
So we pretty much knew it was from the left,
right? Probably
the Jackson Dems. And it's to oppose G287 or whatever. What the hell does that mean? Well, 6 months ago, maybe, the sheriff, Jackson County Sheriff, went into an agreement, one of the first in the state, to hold ICE detainers for up to 48 hours at the jail. And all it is if the sheriff if anybody comes to the jail charged with a crime, once they get bonded out, if there is an ICE detainer or warrant, our sheriff will hold that subject for 48 hours, waiting for ICE to come pick them up.
Okay.
Some counties just kick them out the door after they post bond. Our sheriff's like, I will help the ICE to this degree, and it's good. EP.57-G or something.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of pushback when the sheriff announced he's going to do that. I was there. The left was pissed. So now they want to go down there and demand that the sheriff pull out of this. And so they're encouraging to pack the room. So since I was sent this, Russ, can you activate the our side, which I have done. And I'm sure we're going to pack the room too. But there's going to be a difference. A few of us will probably talk on it. Most of us will be there to support the sheriff.
Right.
But I've seen how they act. They'll lock arms and chant and yell and scream, and a couple get threatened to get kicked out of there and everything. But all right, Kevin, I know I don't know all the Jackson Dems, but I kind of know how they are. I do know their chairman. We've talked about that before. Him and I are not far apart. We're Jackson natives, and we connect in some way. We are not the same.
Right.
But the media and everything's got everything all jazzed up. I'm a little worried about everybody that day. So, like, Karen called and, yeah, the county commission meeting. I says, that's cool. I'll be there. I said, but I want everybody to be careful.
Yeah.
You don't know what they're going to do.
No. And well,
all it takes is one weird freak.
The only reason that I don't foresee anything.
Well, when the sheriff's there and the undersheriff.
Oh, there's that.
Sit near him.
Yeah. I bet he's carrying.
Yes. By the way, the sheriff loves to shoot.
Yeah, he's probably a pretty good shot.
That's why I talked about what they do at the range. He likes to talk about what he does at the range.
But I mean,
or sit by Marcy.
Oh yeah,
Marcy and Judy.
Marcy wants to shoot.
Or Carrie. I mean, you know, I'm just saying.
There's a lot of guns in that room.
There's a lot of guns in there. Come on at it, you know.
Well, they I watched the live feed of Minnesota through the weekend, and you know they were calling for the same type of activity from 2000. I think it was 2000 when the George Floyd riots.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
And there was people out on the road, but they are out on the street.
2020.
Yeah, but they
it was during COVID.
Yeah, and but they petered out at about 11:30. They got tired.
They get sleepy, do they?
I guess so.
I tell you, I did think of this a lot of times in riot type situations. If it's too freaking hot or too freaking cold, they won't do it as much. It's colder and shit right now in Minnesota, and they're not backing down much.
No,
they are mad.
Yeah. Well, and someone else brought up a good point because there's all this. They're making all kinds of noise and screaming and yelling in their face. They brought up a good point. Never thought of. Every one of those SWAT officers have ear protection in.
And they're trained to deal with that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I got thinking about something.
They plan on firing their firearms. I bet, and that's another reason why they have ear protection in.
Right. and they train that high stress situation. I did got thinking. So you got ICE agents whose job is to go out and detain and arrest illegal immigrants.
Right.
All right. So they must also have riot control training. Okay, that's fine because you look at them. I thought, there's probably a big hiring spree with the Department of Homeland Security and specifically ICE. Because I see this. You have frontline riot guys, and then you have your arresting ICE agents.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The rest of the ICE agents were all tucked into their beds, cozy in the hotel room. Those were state and
that state ain't sending their guys.
The state police were there.
Many Minnesota state police. Yeah. I tell you, if they were there, they were told to stand down. Pretty much, they are not helping the way they should.
The state police, the DNR was there. All kinds of state agencies.
I bet you they're a little hands off because their governor is not down with any of this.
According to what I heard, they were activated by the governor.
Something don't seem right that.
Yeah, but
he's got the
trying to save his ass.
National Guard on standby.
Yeah, he's trying to save his ass.
Kevin, I don't think this is it, but this is one of the incidences that will or could create a civil war. So you have an incident, you have a governor that calls his National Guard to stand by to hold peace in the community. And the picture is from, the people rioting and all that. But at what point does he mean to start arresting ICE agents or vice versa? That's how a civil war begins. And all of a sudden, then you have the Minnesota National Guard fighting federal agents.
Yeah. Well, actually, if you really want to think about it, that's not a civil war. That is a revolutionary war.
Oh,
That
true,
is,
true.
That is now fighting the federal government.
So, boy, I used to be a time I really wanted to fight the federal government, but I didn't think it'd come to this. I'll say this. I was reading, and I don't know how true it was. I was reading one of the guards at in Venezuela protecting Maduro.
Yeah, we kind of.
He was talking about. He goes, yeah, man, we're just regular patrol, and all of a sudden some drones were flying over, and we really didn't know what to think about it, and we started reacting. Next thing you know, there's like 3-4 helicopters, and so we shot on the helicopters, and the helicopters went, bah!
Yeah, right back,
and like smoked a bunch of them.
Yeah,
and then they did this thing with like 20 guys. He goes, we had like 300 guys, and they kicked our ass. He goes, but what they did is, this is what I don't know, but I'm sure they do this. They dropped some sort of, I don't know if it's a bomb or what. It's not a bomb, but where all of a sudden it immobilizes you.
EMPs.
You puke, you lose your balance, your head hurts, and all the soldiers were incapable of responding. It was like a silent bomb.
Yeah, it was probably like an EMP. An EMP is electromagnetic waves, and it's used to knock out electronic devices, but I'm sure that it probably doesn't do well to the body either.
But then again, I got thinking, well, you don't expect that kind of stuff because I'm not surprised that's how they do things.
Okay, you got to remember one thing also. Those guards
are Cuban.
Yeah, they're not Venezuelan.
And
he doesn't even trust his own people. He had to bring them in from Cuba.
I know a motorcycle gang here in Jackson could probably take on the Cuban army.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, there are like 6 of them.
Bill and his buddies, well, come on, the Cuban army?
Yeah, Bill doesn't keep one in the chamber, though. No, it was like 15, 20 minutes is all it took to take Maduro. And
I know.
Him and his wife went to their house and just said, come on, guys. And then we were out.
Wow, you think he'd had a little better... Did you not have the resources, or did he underestimate the might of the U.S. government?
Well,
or they didn't think the U.S. government would use that much might.
We didn't have to use that much might. We used one of our super Delta forces.
I know, but like, they underestimated.
Yeah, I think they underestimated it, or they just were calling the bluff, and they're
not going to do it.
Overplayed their hand,
or maybe he wanted to get caught.
Yeah, well, the guy Maduro didn't trust his own people, so he brought the Cubans in. Why does he trust the Cubans?
They're not very trustworthy bunch over the course of
history.
history.
But Cuba probably told them.
But they are desperate.
They protect him because of the oil.
The oil.
Yep.
And I get it. America went to steal the oil. Pretty much Trump says it. We stole the oil.
Crappy oil.
But then again, the reason why there was billions of dollars in oil contracts with the American oil companies that Maduro said, now we're done with that, and just stole their shit.
Yeah.
So Trump's like, well, no, that's our companies, and you're all good, but you need to give our oil companies their shit back.
Well, my understanding too is it wasn't so much the possession of their oil; it was to cut off all of the oil they're giving to China and Russia.
It is a big scheme.
Which is, I mean, 6 of one, half dozen of another, but it is more of a, hey, this is a squeeze.
Since we're, by the way, back to this real quick. Yeah. New intro, new background, new year.
Yeah, new year.
Well, we did one show since then.
Yeah, I planned on doing it the first of the year. I just didn't.
So how long did we have that previous background and intro? Year and a half?
Damn near a year and a half. Yeah, almost.
It wasn't the whole 2 years. That
almost from the beginning. We just had that other one for a moment.
So we upgraded.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I learned some new things.
Yeah, that's what life's about.
Yeah, I guess so.
So anyways, that's what you're seeing there. And then we can change that up. You've seen us do the Capitol and stuff.
And there it is in all its glory without our fat heads in the way. Yeah.
Pretty cool. And then the old intro, I think we're going to use on that new podcast, that Jackson GOP. It's the Grassroots Army podcast. Or Under the Oaks podcast.
Are we just gonna straight steal it from him?
We're stealing Soldano's show.
He quit.
We're stealing his show.
Move your feet, lose your seat.
Sorry, Garrett. The phone's gonna ring now.
Only if we can have his channel with all the subscribers.
Right. Before I forget.
Yeah.
let's clear up the Anthony Hudson thing.
Oh, let's do it.
All right. You guys know maybe that 2 shows again, I expressed a concern with candidate for governor Anthony Hudson and his visit to Dearborn. And I took that, I think it's 15, 20 minutes worth of yap, and I posted it to a Facebook page called Exposing Anthony Hudson.
I think it's about 36 minutes, actually, but
and
the long one.
It was. And I suggest going back a couple weeks and watching that show. I'm not going to explain it. That sounds like a good way to get people to click on old shows.
Yeah, or go and visit our Facebook. I think it's posted on our Facebook.
It's there. So my suspicion on Anthony Hudson in Dearborn and in the wrapped bus that showed up there that wasn't Anthony's, and in correlation to something he had said to me weeks prior, about him having a motorhome in it, that he was going to have a wrap and start touring. That seems suspicious. So apparently Anthony seen the video after 2 weeks, and he texted me, "Hey man, can I give you a call?" "Yeah." "All right, well, about 30 minutes. I had a sneaky suspicion that what it was about.
Right. He had an idea.
"Hey, how you doing?" "Oh, I'm doing good. What are you having for lunch?" But anyways, he called pretty angry. Yeah. And I said during that segment, Anthony Hudson will defend himself. He is a defensive guy.
Yeah.
But he was upset. And after a long period of trying to get words in with one another, I allowed him to explain, and I told him that I would give this explanation on the show about the bus and the wrap. All right. When we seen each other in the parking lot of the Commonwealth Center here at the Jackson GOP, I mentioned his truck looks nice with the wrap he's got on. He tells me the story about how I thought I heard it, he owns a motorhome, or he had a motorhome and he was getting a wrap and they were going to start touring. Let's start there. He didn't have a motorhome. His former election worker, Jaden somebody, had a motorhome and was going to loan it to him, and it was in getting a wrap. Okay, so that's the first explanation.
Yep.
But while the thing is getting a wrap, Jaden turned out to be an asshole.
Oh, well, what do you know?
And according to Anthony, and I have no reason not to believe him, they fired Jaden. Okay, you're fired, Jaden. I don't know who Jaden is. Don't care.
No.
He sent me a video of Jaden. I didn't really watch it because I don't care.
Okay.
So, all right, Jaden, you're fired. Apparently, Jaden became or was bubs with Jake Lang, the bacon slapping Korean guy.
Yeah.
And probably since Jaden's butt hurt because he got fired, ran to Jake Lang and decided that's what they do. So Jaden takes the bus that's got the Anthony Hudson wrap on it that belongs to Jaden and drives it to Dearborn and to stage this whole thing because he's mad or want to make Anthony Hudson look bad. I'm even going to throw this in there. According to Anthony, the company that provided the wrap, Jaden or no one had the money for it, and they took the motorhome, Jaden did, without paying. Wraps are expensive, especially on a motorhome.
Yeah.
So Anthony wanted me, he threw that in a few times. And so anyway, there's warrants and they're madder than hell, the wrap company, and they're after Jaden.
Yeah, I mean, technically, he stole their property. I mean,
yeah, sounds shitty. So I wanted to provide that explanation. So the explanation is that my suspicion is incorrect, and that he had told me prior to the Dearborn visit that he was going to tour the state in a wrapped bus or motorhome. That's what he told me. And then a wrapped bus shows up. Jaden gets fired. The bus shows up. wrapped at the Dearborn event, and that's when Anthony Hudson says, "Dude, that's not my bus. That's not me. That's not mine." And so that it wasn't a stunt by Anthony with the whole bus, like my suspicion was. I don't know if that solves my suspicion or not.
It doesn't mind,
but it tells me, yeah, pretty decent explanation from Anthony Hudson. We talked for a very, very long time on the phone. I have a level of respect for Anthony. He's gone farther in this campaign than anybody would have imagined on very little money. He ain't got a chance in hell, but he's out there working it. He is passionate. I'll tell you a weird story. We had the signing event for Citizens Only Vote up here Saturday, and it was promoted heavily through Citizens Only Vote. And we were caught off guard, although we handled it. We had a lot of people through the Jackson GOP that day.
That's what you had said. I came right at the end of it.
And then, the plan always, if you come to Jackson GOP, no matter what you come up, we always try to give you a tour of our beautiful headquarters. So we were providing a lot of tours, sign this petition tour. Well, I had this couple that I thought were pretty cool. I still think, I don't think they're not uncool. Yeah. And we're talking, we get to the table in the big event room where we had all the candidates' petition forms. Anthony's, Nesbitt's, Mike Rogers, Congressman Wahlberg. We had a whole table. I go, these are the candidates for governor. And they go, oh my God, do you got the Anthony Hudson one? I go, yes, I do. Right here. And they were quick and all excited about Anthony Hudson. Now, Kevin, I'm a Tom Leonard guy.
Yeah.
But I'm also a county chair, and I did not say anything to prevent them from signing that Anthony Hudson petition. I did my job. It come across my mind, Russ, you might want to talk him out of that. I did not do that. And so anyways, he has supporters.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Right here in Jackson.
See, I'm not a county chair, and someone had posted on a post in one of the Jackson sites about, what about Jackson or Anthony Hudson? And I just casually posted what was posted on the whatever the Facebook page against them was. The text, and I'm like, this is what I've seen. This is where it came from. Because I don't care.
Now
this was well before the whole bus thing, actually. Even this was a couple weeks ago.
Talking to a few other people about Anthony giving me a call on the phone brings up an interesting perspective. Any legitimate candidate would have never responded that way.
No,
that you just let it go away. You could care less. Plus, we don't have enough viewers for it to matter.
No.
Okay. Talking bad about our own damn show.
Which reminds me, hi, Anthony, you obviously watch because it's not like someone told him.
No. He got directed to that page.
Oh.
And he watched it from that page.
Oh, good. Well,
2 weeks later.
I bet she's watching now.
I told him that I would talk about it today. That isn't his explanation. And you know what? I have no reason not to believe that explanation. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
We weren't that brutal on him. I think we remember we talked somewhat positively about Anthony, and
I don't think we've said anything really super negative about it, except
he was a good guest on the show.
He was a good guest on the show. I've met him a couple of times. And
I think he was a little bothered because I have seen him often,
right?
And we've talked and joked or whatever. But Kevin, I'm generally a nice guy like that. It doesn't mean I'm faking it or nothing. If I see somebody, even if I'm not supporting you or I'm talking about you on my podcast, doesn't mean that I'm not going to say hello or
I would say
small
hello.
talk. I don't wish ill on him at all. Oh, I think what we talked about is on that page, it talks about his personal problems that he's had in the past.
Oh yeah,
and I could give a shit less about any of that.
Yeah, and that wasn't even us. That was just us.
And I think
literally reading what the page said.
But we talked about how you and I are. Yeah, we're not perfect.
No, no. There's always skeletons.
So, anyways, I told Anthony I'd bring that up. We did.
There we go.
Take it for what it's worth. We might make a clip out of it. I'll send it to Anthony. Maybe I'll throw it up on that page. I really don't know. They got 600 people on that page. I was just trying to throw the podcast on it.
Yeah. And devil's advocate with it is that his explanation, like you said, I have no reason not to believe it, but the way that he acted towards you, and I've heard that he's acted towards other people, is exactly how whoever hacked his page also acted towards people. And I just think that there's a lot of coincidences that still leans me away.
Well,
but it's not like it changed my mind.
He has a lot of coincidences happen in his life and in his campaign.
I don't believe that coincidences are a real thing.
They happen often, don't they?
Yeah, only when it's convenient.
Yeah,
it's awfully convenient.
Good luck, Anthony Hudson, on your campaign.
Oh, we should look up to see if we knew that Jaden guy's last name. Look up and see if there's really a warrant.
You know what? I did write it down, and
yeah, it don't matter. I just thought of that. I'm like, oh. But again, it doesn't
sounds
matter.
like Jaden's a little asshole.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe
he says that Jaden's the one who had access to his Facebook account and was talking the crazy stuff on that page. Remember, I told you, I say, I know Anthony's defensive, but that didn't sound like Anthony, unless he was drunk or he's got a mental problem that I'm not aware of. I did say that.
Yeah.
And he says that was Jaden. By the way, he claims there's death threats against him, and he's since found out or claiming that those were Jaden with those death threats, and that MSP or somebody.
So he's acting as Anthony and against Anthony.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a lot of time on his hands, but apparently he hasn't found a new job.
Or he has. Maybe he had a job the whole time.
The whole job to destroy Anthony Hudson. Someone's going to pay for that.
Anthony said, "Here's some money. I need a scapegoat." I'm not. Hey, it's hearsay. I know nothing.
I don't know.
I'm just a sidekick. Remember,
the way life goes, I'm probably gonna run into this Jaden kid one day.
Yeah, I'm sure. Hopefully, he doesn't run into me with his car or something.
I don't know if you're as good a shot as that.
I was going to say I'm not as good at a shot, but I'll give it a shot. I will unload. 1 pound to hit.
So, anyways, housekeeping for the day is complete.
Yeah,
we've talked about Anthony Hudson way longer than we have Tom Leonard.
Yeah, I agree. And
or Eric Despot or Mike Cox or Ralph Rebrandt. By the way, Ralph's manner in hell right now. I like Ralph. He's a pretty good old boy. I don't know why or the excuse and don't care, but he wasn't invited to an event up north.
Oh, no.
And they kind of treated him.
He was here for Lincoln Day, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because he's the one I missed at his presentation.
Ralph's not my guy, but I like Ralph. He's an all right guy.
Yeah, I think I talked to him for a second.
He seems normal.
Yeah.
I did appear on the Grassroots Strong
with Chris Long
podcast with Chris Long and Kent County Chair Rusty Richter. That aired today, and wasn't too bad.
Yeah, like I said, I downloaded it. I haven't listened to it yet, but
yep, wasn't too bad. It was all right show. But anyways, the YouTube, you can find it on there. Grassroots Strong.
Yeah, he's got it. Well, they got good equipment. Too bad they have to move it all the time.
I know. or just go to Chris Long's Facebook page.
Yeah.
Or mine. It's there.
Yeah, or I posted our Facebook page in the chat. You can always go
I haven't
there.
Put it on there. I guess
I think that's where I saw it.
Oh, maybe I did. I think I advertised that I was going to be on. I haven't put the show there yet.
Oh, maybe that might have been what it was. I don't pay attention.
So I've been getting invited to podcasts. Well, one.
Well, yeah, and you had to drive all the way to Grand Rapids.
And I'm trying to steal the Grassroots Army name
accidentally, on purpose. Hey, it's good marketing. Saldana already did all the work on that.
I don't even know. Oh, okay. By the way, all this hubbub about a lot of focus. Minnesota, Minneapolis, dead chicks, ICE agents all weekend long, everywhere you turn. And then, boom, Saturday's episode of Promethean Action with Susan Kokinda came out. And it's very Susan Kokinda, and I often want to share a lot of her 15-minute episodes.
Mm-hmm.
This one was weird. I kept thinking, I like this. I think this needs to be put on the show. And then somebody else posted it. And we're going to do a 14-minute clip with Susan Kokinda.
Yeah.
And what stuck out to me is, pay attention. They've got us distracted on Minnesota fraud, Minnesota violence, ICE agents, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
when Trump is heading to Davos here in a couple weeks
Yeah.
and destroying the economic forum. This is what Trump's really. This is what's important.
Yeah,
this right here is what's important. So I encourage you to watch Prithian Action,
in which you can check out the Prithian Action on jxngop.org.
That's where I found this one.
Down in the podcast section.
You sure can. You don't have to remember that name. You just go to jxngop.org.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to spell it.
And while you're down there, you can watch episodes of Grassroots Army.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, absolutely. So
that are super old because we stole the name.
Apparently we took it. It's ours now. All right. So let's see. Make sure we're getting some audio. Stand by a second, guys. I'm going to get the audio working on that. I don't know why it wasn't working. Yeah, so give me just a second. I'm going to do it this way. See, our voice is coming through. Add video. We're going to do it the long way. Oh, where is it at?
You can always go to the website and go to her show and pick up the episode.
The way that it's been working is, I don't think that's going to work either, but I don't know why. It should be right here. That's okay. We'll do it this way. I'm really sorry, guys, but this will be up in just a second. Stand by.
Am I off? Oh, I'm still there.
Yeah, I put you on. I put you back on, so
okay.
you can go ahead and
I can go ahead and talk.
You can do whatever you like.
I just advised Kevin. I said you can always go to jxngop.org and go to the bottom to that podcast and pick up the first one. I sent it to him earlier, and it must download funny or something.
It did. I had it playing.
Kevin, you have a show where all you do is play clips.
I know, right?
It's like what you do.
I know. That's what's so confusing right now.
But I wouldn't want to do a 14-minute clip with no audio.
No.
I just think it's so interesting. Susan and the people at Prithian Action have a very interesting perspective of what really is going on with Trump. Like a behind the scenes type of thing. Things that are really the important. Not that getting rid of illegal immigrants isn't important, but Let's see what we got.
All right, we just got to upload it, and it'll only take a second. It is a little bit of a long clip, but
I think it's 14 minutes.
Yeah, that's what we're uploading right now. But make sure, guys, you go and like the stream, even though it sucks.
Even though the stream sucks. And hell, I don't know. I just got offered a job at Grassroots Army.
Well, you created a job at Grassroots Army.
Oh, that's how that works. We can talk a little bit about upcoming events.
Yeah, let me.
The Saturday right here at the Jackson GOP headquarters is a candidate forum. Secretary of State candidates and Attorney General candidates will all be here at 11 o'clock. Doors open at 10 for a little forum because the precinct delegates of the state come together in March to select which ones are going to go to the general election. This is a great way to get to know who those candidates are, because precinct delegates are going to have to select one at the convention. So that's Saturday. Doors open at 10. We got some yummy food lined up, and our friend Senator Jonathan Lindsay is going to be the moderator of that. So that's always a good time. You put Jonathan involved in anything. But both candidates for AG will be here, and all three candidates for Secretary of State will be here. And then off to the side, not participating in the forum, is candidate for U of M Board of Regents, Lena Epstein. And then also a candidate for U.S. Senate, Genevieve Peter Scott, will be here. I had invited the governor candidates. They all seemed busy that day, different things. But when I was on the phone with Anthony Hudson, he expressed interest, but he didn't know if he was available. Might hear from him. Maybe Anthony will be here. You come up here and ask him about the motorhome personally if you want. It doesn't matter. Or whatever his platform is. He will always talk to you about it. That's for sure. It's downloading slow. We can just have a show.
Actually, while I had an emergency there, but I think I know what's wrong.
Okay. I didn't hear you through my headphones, by the way, Kevin.
Sorry. Now you can probably hear me.
Yeah.
No, that's good there. I don't know what's going on. Might as well continue on while that goes, and then we can. I don't know what. Sorry about that.
Then Under the Oak Speaker Series, February 26th. We are not having an Under the Oak Speaker Series in January because of the candidate forum. We come back with one in February 12th, with James Dixon.
James Dixon from.
Well, he does work with the Michigan Enjoyer.
Yeah, that's what.
But he wants us to promote him as the James Dixon podcast now.
Okay.
He's launched his own stuff along with the Enjoyer. But jxngop.org, you'll see, and when you see his face, you'll be like, oh, yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah,
the Enjoyer.
I didn't realize I knew him, and then I realized that we've actually covered his stories before on the show.
He's a bad. You got Charlie LaDuff. You got to love him. And then there's James, and then there's others that work there that really pull out some interesting stuff. The Enjoyer has been quite enjoyable.
I've enjoyed going back and reading it. Real quick before we move too far on, earlier, someone in the chat asked, when are we kicking off the Jackson Battle Creek beef? I didn't know there was one.
Is there a beef?
Apparently.
Who asked that?
His name is Familiar Human. He's been in a few of my chats before. So I don't know him personally, but
we don't care who makes cereal.
Yeah. Well, they don't.
Apparently they're pulling out of there, I guess. There ain't nothing in Battle Creek that we worry about. I don't think they worry about us. By the way, I've always thought of Battle Creek a lot like Jackson.
It is.
You've been downtown Battle Creek? They got a couple of the buildings that are a lot like our downtown buildings.
Yeah, and it's like weirdly industrial, but like abandoned.
Like weirdly industrial, but no one works at any of them places.
Yeah, but they're all mad about battery factories.
A lot of solar over there. You get western Jackson County into Calhoun County. A lot of solar. And solar doesn't employ
Battle
people.
Creek smells.
It does. It smells like cornflakes.
Jackson smells too. Yes, it does.
It does. By the way, speaking of smell.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows I owned a bar for many years.
Mm-hmm.
Not unfamiliar with bars, but since then, and probably because of age, me and my wife don't go out anymore.
Right.
And it was her birthday Saturday, and mine was Thursday. And we decided to meet some friends at the Denton's Den here in Jackson for some karaoke.
Yeah.
And we had a wonderful time singing karaoke. You know, the wife likes to sing the karaoke, and I sing a few songs. And our friend
owned a karaoke bar for a while.
Yeah, Joe Chambers likes. Yeah, we went for karaoke.
You went for karaoke.
Bunch of us. It was a good time after dinner. And today I had be somewhere 8:00 in the morning for Leone Township. And yes, guys do this, but I was trying to find a shirt, and I go, well, I'll just wear this shirt again.
Yeah.
The one I wore Saturday night. Okay. I got a clean T-shirt on. Don't worry about it. If I put it on, I'm like, what's that smell? Right? Denton's doesn't smell. You walk in, you don't smell. It's a clean bar.
Yeah.
It's a clean bar. They always update shit at the place for old time corner Jackson bar. It's a clean place. Newer kitchen, all that. But I didn't know what pay attention what the smell was. Why does my shirt smell funny? I sit in the chair and I realize I smell like a bar. It doesn't smell like booze or nothing. Just smell funky.
And like I said, I think it's the deep fryer.
I think you're right. I think that's what makes it stick. I think that's what makes the smell stay.
Even if you got good ventilation, a deep fryer.
Yeah, you didn't notice it when we were there. But anyways, I had to take that shirt off. Probably shouldn't have wore it anyways.
Apple says you're too cute to be wearing dirty clothes.
I know. I got limited shirts though. No, I pick.
Good to see Apple.
It's no big deal.
By the way, that video's ready. If you would.
All right, let's watch some Perithian action with the Susan Kokinda. We'll try to get Susan on the show. It's just that me and Kevin would have to prep because she's super smart.
Yeah, and I mean it's not hard to be smarter than us. Here we go.
Is Davos ready for Donald Trump?
Work.
In less than 2 weeks, the president is going to march his full economic team into the World Economic Forum in Switzerland.
14 minutes.
You could say he's walking into the lion's den, except that he's the lion. And the globalists know it. Yesterday, the New York Times shrieked that Donald Trump has set himself above international law. They wrote, on topic after topic, President Trump made clear he would be the arbiter of any limits to his authority, not international law or treaties. But it's not international law they're worried about. It's their entire globalist system. And that is what Trump was actually telling the New York Times. And that is exactly what he's going to tell the gathered so-called international elite at Davos. He's crippled their dirty money laundromat in the Caribbean with the Venezuelan operation. He's declared war on the economic cartels, and he's withdrawn from 66 international organizations that are used to enforce globalist policies. Now, you're not supposed to notice any of that. You're supposed to be caught up in the play-by-play of the Minnesota ICE shootings, while the Democratic foot soldiers and the controlled media try to spin up their irregular warfare operations here at home. Well, Trump and his team aren't going to let them get away with that. Both J.D. Vance and Scott Bessent made that clear in the past 2 days.
What that headline leaves out is that woman is part of a broader left-wing network to attack, to dox, to assault, and to make it impossible for our ICE officers to do their job.
I'm Susan Kokinda, and I've seen how for decades the enemy keeps the American people in check by trapping them on the battlefields that the enemy chooses in order to keep patriots away from the real fight, which is bringing down the British imperial system. Well, Donald Trump is taking that system on, and if that's the fight you want to be a part of, I need you to hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons so we can stay in touch and we can expand our reach on YouTube. Here's what we're going to cover today. How Trump is going to deliver the terms of surrender at Davos. That the Trump administration has already taken a direct strike on 66 transnational organizations. And how Treasury Secretary Bessent is bringing the fight right home here in Minnesota. So in less than 2 weeks, Donald Trump lands in Davos, and he's bringing with him a demolition crew. He's bringing Treasury Secretary Bessent, Commerce Secretary Lutnick, Energy Secretary Wright, Trade Representative Greer, and don't forget Trump's close confidant and diplomat of all trades, Steve Witkoff. Why this group? Because they represent all the elements that are replacing the British liberal free trade system. Lutnick and Greer are going to tell them that the era of sending American manufacturing capacity overseas and gutting our middle and working classes is over. Besant is there to cut off the capital flows that prioritize global financial income streams over American wages. And Chris Wright, well, he's the walking refutation of the entire insane green agenda. And Steve Witkoff, well, he's the guy who gets things done for Donald Trump. But to really understand what Trump is doing in Davos, you're going to have to understand where Davos comes from. It was started in 1971. That was the year the British Empire dismantled the Bretton Woods financial system. That is the system that had stabilized economies in the post-war world. So the World Economic Forum was launched to begin to manage this post-1971 period. Everyone knows it was created by Klaus Schwab, but he had been mentored by Henry Kissinger at Harvard in the late 1960s. And let's not forget that Kissinger, later on, when he was Secretary of State, went on to say that in his Secretary of State capacity, he kept the British Foreign Office more closely informed than he did the State Department. So the establishment of the WEF in 1971 wasn't a coincidence. It was a transfer of power. As they killed off the power of sovereign governments to control their own credit, they built up a new temple for the transnational corporations that would rule in their place. And for 55 years, Davos has become one of the nodal points of this empire, and probably the most well-known. They don't use armies, they use ideology, and they have applied the ideology of the British Empire to the 21st century, and they've hijacked the world until now. And for all those years, researchers at Promethean Action have been exposing those operations, whether it's the WEF or the Council on Foreign Relations, or the neoconservatives or their free trade ideology, and all the other groups and policies. More importantly, we know how to defeat them. So if you want to get into the real battle, head on over to Promethean Action and subscribe to our free newsletter, because we will continue to give you the up-to-date coverage of what Trump is really doing. Because in 10 days, Trump is going to the WEF. And contrary to the claims of the naggers and the heel-biters within the MAGA movement, Donald Trump is not going to Switzerland to play nice with the Davos men. He and his team are arriving with a fully activated American system alternative to their policies of globalism and imperialism, and he will be laying down the terms of surrender. Now, he's already laid down some covering fire before his team heads out, hitting them exactly where it hurts, their networks of soft power. Just 3 days ago, the White House released a new finding withdrawing the United States from 66 international organizations, conventions, and treaty. Marco Rubio made clear they're pulling the plug on what he called a sprawling architecture of global governance, which, as he put it, serves the same elite networks of the multilateral NGO complex. And then Rubio drilled down on what this apparatus really is. He said, from DEA mandates to gender equality campaigns to climate orthodoxy, many international organizations now serve a globalist project rooted in the discredited fantasy of the end of history. These organizations actively seek to constrain American sovereignty. Now, the organizations that the U.S. is withdrawing from include the full gamut of green enforcement institutions that have been set up in the last few decades to enforce the carbon dioxide is poison policy, which is supposed to make nations deindustrialize. Also, some of these institutions that we're withdrawing from go all the way back to the very foundation of the UN in the late 1940s. And if you go back to the early days of the UN, you'll find people like Julian Huxley letting it all hang out as to the British plans for the UN, which, by the way, were contrary to Franklin Roosevelt's intentions. Huxley was the grandson of Thomas Huxley. Thomas had been the president of the British Royal Society, and he served on Queen Victoria's Privy Council in the heyday of the 19th century form of British imperialism. Julian was groomed to administer the same policies in their 20th century form, and so he became the first head of UNESCO when the UN was founded, where he took up several projects. First, he laid out what the purpose of UNESCO was. He said, in its educational program, it can stress the ultimate need for world political unity and familiarize all people with the implications of the transfer of full sovereignty from separate nations to a world organization. Remember what Marco Rubio just said? These organizations actively seek to constrain American sovereignty. And Huxley also had the slightly more delicate task of repackaging one of the empire's most evil policies, race science or eugenics. Here's what Huxley said in 1948. Even though it's quite true that any radical eugenic policy will be for many years politically and psychologically impossible, it will be important for UNESCO to see that the eugenic problem is examined with the greatest care and that the public mind is informed of the issues at stake so that much that now is unthinkable may at least become thinkable. Let's not mince words. Huxley is saying Hitler gave eugenics a bad name, and we have to reframe it in the post-war world, and we're going to use these institutions to do it. So Huxley and many of the other card-carrying eugenicists became founders of the environmentalist movement, which ultimately metastasized into the green fascist organizations that the Trump administration just shut down. So by withdrawing from these 66 organizations and treaties, Trump and his team are stating clearly the U.S. is no longer abiding by your green zero growth policies, your human rights frauds that protect terrorists, and your Malthusian population reduction schemes. But the enemy doesn't just operate out of Davos or the UN. They have tentacles right here in the heartland of America. The chaos we're seeing in Minnesota and in other cities, the attacks on ICE, the rioting, this isn't organic. It's the same spider web. But the media is trying to keep you fixated on every new camera angle of the shooting in Minneapolis. Vice President J.D. Vance addressed the real issue.
What that headline leaves out is that that woman is part of a broader left-wing network to attack, to dox, to assault, and to make it impossible for our ICE officers to do their job. If the media wants to tell the truth, they ought to tell the truth that a group of left-wing radicals have been working tirelessly, sometimes using domestic terror techniques to try to make it impossible for the President of the United States to do what the American people elected him to do, which is enforce our immigration laws.
Vance is holding the shield, but Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is drawing the sword. While the media focuses on the street violence, Bessent is looking at the apparatus that funds it. He just announced a full investigation of the fraud surrounding the daycare centers and much, much more. He made clear that the Treasury's enforcement arm, FinCEN, along with the IRS, will be looking at financial institutions and at 501c3s. He's tracking the money that moves from the same globalist foundations that interface with the UN, that used to interface with USID before Trump shut it down, and other institutions. He's looking at how this moves directly into the accounts of domestic groups burning down our cities, and he's putting them all on notice.
We track, we follow the money, and we intend to follow it as much as we can, prosecute the individuals no matter where they are, whether they are in the Minnesota government or they are sitting in East Africa. We will find them.
Then Bessent made clear that this isn't just about daycare centers, that these are the same methods used by the cartels, and they will be investigated in the same way.
We view this crime as very similar to the cartels' money laundering, many of the same approaches, many of the same shell companies. So we will see where it goes out from here. That will be a starting point. And as I said, Minnesota is going to be the protocols, the procedures, and the investigative techniques, as well as the collaboration with other agencies. Minnesota is going to be the genesis for a national rollout.
Catch that last comment? This is a national rollout. These are all intertwined networks, the fraud, the cartels, drug money laundering, and the foot soldiers who are rioting and impeding ICE. This is the bottom of the apparatus that goes up through the global banking institutions, the UN, the NGOs, and the WEF. And Donald Trump is taking them on all at once. So let's step back and see what Trump has done in just the first 10 days of 2026. He smashed their offshore money laundering operations in the Caribbean. He's withdrawn from 66 transnational organizations and treaties that have been strangling American sovereignty, some since the UN was founded. His Treasury Secretary is now following the money right into the NGOs and the 501c3s that fund the foot soldiers attacking our law enforcement agents on American streets. This is a coordinated strike on every level of the spiderweb, from Davos to Minneapolis. So, sure, the New York Times is screaming that Trump has set himself above international law. Good, because their international law was never law. It was a cage built to keep America trapped inside a system designed by the British Empire and administered by their globalist heirs. Donald Trump is taking a jackhammer to that system. So if you want to stay focused on this, not the play-by-play distractions, but on the strategy to win the real war, then join us at Promethean Action. Get our free newsletter or become a paying member or a contributor. We need more people on the real battlefield mobilized to win this fight. We'll be back on Monday with another look at the Trump offensive. This has been your Saturday Brief. Thanks for watching.
Please take a moment and subscribe to our free newsletter at PrometheanAction.com.
Helping out the Promethean Action today.
Yeah, a little bit. A little Promethean Action.
That's right.
Action.
All I could think through part of that, it was man, bear, pig.
Yeah, that too. I'm just wondering how I can become a card-carrying eugenicist.
I know.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
I guess so.
Well, that's what I always do to companies that want to give me funding for my business. I ask if they will fund eugenics, and they are always all about it. And then they send me to the supervisor, and the supervisor hangs up on me.
They're not down with that one.
Yeah, whoever's calling you, they don't know what that word means.
Susan, and gosh, I forget her. It's a whole team, but there's a co-host, another woman that does similar for them. I like Susan the best. The other one does really well too. They talk about that stuff that one you might not be aware of, or like me, I was aware of, but wasn't the focus. Of what really going on. The Brits controlling the money, and you just think things are okay, and they're not.
No, it's
You think you're free, and you're not.
I saw a meme today, completely off topic, not off topic, on topic, but it showed a gorilla, and a person was like, "You're not free," and the gorilla's like, "No, you're not free," and the human's like, "Well, I'm not in a cage." Gorilla proceeds to publicly masturbate.
It's a good point.
It's a good point.
Good point.
Yeah, well, I didn't think that was going to come into play today, but it did.
I think this week I'll work on seeing if we can't get Susan on.
Okay. Yeah, she seems like she they said in the chat too. I'll pull that up so you can see it too. Roy Rat said that she knows her shit. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, she's so smart.
Yeah, I can already tell. I'm like, whoa. Wow.
She's also the I think it's Coalition's vice chair for the Michigan GOP.
I've heard her name a lot.
And we had her here as I don't think it was under the Oak speaker guest. I think maybe our precinct delegate subcommittee brought her in. I'm quite certain of that, and it was great. So the last I seen her was just a couple of weeks ago at the Mike Rogers for Senate Christmas party, and we talked for quite a long time. Matter of fact, more than once. We just kept going back and talking. I like her a lot, but I will say that I'm a little intimidated about interviewing her because you better bring your smarty pants.
Well,
but then again, she knows how to just present it.
We're pretty good about letting them go, anyway.
Yeah, especially when you don't know and you're trying to learn something.
Set them up and let them knock them down.
Yeah. Thank you, Susan, for that. I just thought that was a good one to put on. I don't know. Jump on today. Check out the ones she's putting out today. They're always 10 to 15 minutes long is all.
Yeah. JacksonGOP.org, and it's at the bottom of the page. You'll see the little podcast button.
I don't know what the hell else is going on. We got got a mad county commission meetings. I don't know what's going on in the city.
Me neither. We haven't done a Hits Home Jackson in a couple of weeks. I need to reach out to him.
I don't think it's in Florida right now.
No, he posted a picture. He was up north.
Oh, I did see something about
something about off like cross country skiing or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, me neither.
Good for him.
Yeah, no, good for him. But
when he gets back, he'll be super cold and be wanting to head to Florida.
Yeah. Well,
maybe he'll squeeze in a show though.
I know he said he's going for 3 months. And he wants to do the show remotely still.
Oh, yeah. You got to show him how to do that.
So,
and it's easy. But I'm just saying
I got to show him how to use the studio.
He's just never done that.
Yeah.
Download whatever one you're going to use and, tell him to push this button and boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Well,
he's like me. You got to show me, other than that, I'm not going to figure it out.
Pretty simple. Show him how to get into it. And then the rest of it, I do. So
yeah. I remember last year he was in Florida. I kept saying something about remotely and you guys didn't hook that together. So maybe that's a good idea. At least one or two while he was down there.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
God, he keeps track of county and city.
He posts more when he's down in Florida.
So by the way, what is happening though, that probably I know has John all rattled. Number one, the Hayes Hotel, the Attorney General said no. The state legislature can't take that funding, and they're back working on the Hayes. Yep. So I'm sure John's madder than hell. And then another one on a county side of things. There's a young man. He owns this organization, Grow Jackson. Super leftist. He's got. Well, we had Corey on.
Yeah,
about
last week. Yeah.
Boy, I tell you, that turned into a conversation with at our last Jackson GOP meeting with Commissioner Tony Bear. He was the only commissioner here. People in the GOP ain't down with that.
No,
they're not at all. And by the way, I got home last week, and John messaged me, madder than hell. He told me that I should become the chair of the Jackson Republican and Democratic Party.
Oh,
I said, well, I'm going to start the Uniparty, John, and I'm going to need an administrator. You want the job? Sure, it pays well. I made light of it. He was mad. He didn't like the way I rolled with Corey.
Yeah, well,
I looked back on the show. It's not like I'm like, yeah, let's build a farmer's market. I'll tell you what, I was the very first one to bring up. Did anybody talk to Keith's Produce about this?
Yeah.
And now it's a talking point, and they even taught about retailers in general. And then it hit me. This guy's a retailer. It's competition. He's leasing property off the county to run his retail operation. What has people upset? He's doing the 2-for-1 type of bridge card transaction. So you get double your bridge card action if you buy product there. And I think Kroger does that to a certain extent.
I've never heard of it, but possibly.
Where the retailer or this guy has sponsors that eat the additional cost.
Well, it's throw an extra tomato in there,
Right, whatever it is. I'll tell you what, Will Hastings explained it. I couldn't hear very well, and I don't think he had time to explain it in detail. I'd like to know. The way that works is a kind of a scam, and the way it circles back is similar to what the bullshit they're doing in Minneapolis right now.
Oh, okay.
Where you have a grocery store next to the daycare, and you funnel everything through that, and in the bridge card hustle. There is a hustle. There's a hustle to this. That's what leftists do.
Yeah.
So, John Wilson, get a show together.
Yep.
It's Home Jackson. Put Will on. I know you like to put Will on, and talk about that circle that Will was trying to explain last Thursday. I'd like to see that on a show.
I agree.
Or we got to throw Will on and ask him.
I'll just double check my messages to see. I was wondering if John had messaged me, because that's what he did last week.
Yeah.
Nothing.
He was mad at me last week.
Yeah, but the thing is I don't understand why he'd be mad at you just rolling with
John
Corey.
gets mad at people like me all the time. He doesn't
Yeah,
stay mad though.
no,
he doesn't. He's mad at Corey a lot. But then they're all right. You heard Corey explain that relationship.
Well, and I think actually Corey explained that situation very well.
He'll call your shit out. He don't care.
No,
It's just the way it is.
Yeah, and I think that it was a misunderstanding and I think it was great questions by Will and by John. I don't think they understood that. No, he's leasing the property. There's no tax burden.
Well, yeah, I think
other than maintaining the property.
John kept staying hung up on, and he doesn't have to pay property taxes. He said that after our show with Commissioner Kennedy. He's hung up on that. Okay. I think John has rentals.
He does. He has one.
Okay. Does that tenant pay property tax? No.
Yeah. See, and that's why
you pay it through your rent.
Yeah, he couldn't. I don't think he could get that quite through. That
maybe I'm missing something. What John's thinking?
I think we would need further explanation, and that's one thing that definitely I think would come up.
I mean, we don't. All right, I don't know what the lease payment is on the Armory for this young man to. By the way, he is a leftist.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He is a leftist, and his father is a longtime local attorney that I heard is quite the leftist too. So they've concocted some way to hustle property, but you got to pay, and you're going to run your business. I brought up the Keys Produce thing. It's only a block away. What about Keys Produce? But then again, hey, if I bought property, if I did it the way you're supposed to, I bought property where the new Bigby Coffee is at, Cooper North, and opened a farm market there.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
same thing.
Capitalism. I mean, that's how our economy works. If not, we're going to give Keys a monopoly. They'd complain about that.
I know, but he's putting it on county property with what we're assuming is a sweetheart deal.
Yeah.
For him to exist there. I don't know if it's a sweetheart deal. I haven't seen the lease.
Well, what it sounded like, and I could be wrong, but it sounded like from Corey that it was a kind of you can occupy the space and then the payment, increases if more successful you are, which means that the original lease is probably very low.
That's what I think so.
But
too.
It's a good point or it could just sit empty.
Right, and
the county still owns it at the end of the day.
It was, I think Corey insinuated that it was a federal grant. I don't know, federal or state, it don't matter. It was specific to opening.
It had to be a farmer's market.
A farmer market, and I think they already got the money and spent it. Corey said on repairs to the Armory, so they're obligated now to put a farmer's market there. The way that sounds to me.
I had asked Corey.
So they got to decide whether this guy or another guy.
Well, they had to decide pretty much to put a farmer's market there and that or not and lose out on all the money.
I think, but they are all right.
They've already accepted the grant and spent the money. So yeah.
Yeah. So now they're obligated to put a farmer's market there regardless.
Yeah.
So they're going to take this lease.
Yeah. I wonder. I wonder if maybe the opportunity wasn't proposed to Keys.
Oh, I didn't think about Keys moving there for a farmer's market. I only worried about Keys Produce. It's a long time produce shop down the street.
They ain't going nowhere.
They ain't doing that.
Well, the thing is I could see
Keys Produce probably worries less about this situation than what we're worried about.
I haven't seen them out there protesting it. They're just out there selling produce like they do.
I know the Keys is for very many years. Matter of fact, they're one of the Keys girls I went to the prom with. She has nothing to do with the business. She's lived out of state. Mm-hmm. That's how long I've known the Keys is. And I bought produce off them when I had my business. Mm-hmm. And they do delivery wholesale to a lot of restaurants and this and that. Their walk-in retail, I don't think, is what saves the day for them.
No.
But people do go there. Here's the difference. They do have great produce.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because they check everything that comes through the door.
I've always said when I worked at Texas Roadhouse, we had two produce suppliers. One was Keys. The other one was LaGrasse, I think. And I had to, for Keys, I always did check, but I never had to. Their stuff was, and if anything was wrong, a tomato was bruised, anything, they take it right back. They
did.
But then the LaGrasse people, they were you had to double check everything,
Yeah.
and they would fight you about it. And what do you expect? They're tomatoes. Well, I expect them not to be.
Yeah,
up.
I can't do nothing.
I don't order ketchup.
You give me your rotten tomatoes. Now I gotta give them to customers.
Yeah, right.
Right. Yeah.
No, Keys is on point. I mean, but
Yeah.
I think you're right. I don't think they're stressing.
You know, their minimum order is like super low too.
Yeah.
Remember, we used to order like 6 lemons, 6 limes, and a head of lettuce, and they would deliver it.
Yeah, they would. Just
I think there's a $3 delivery fee.
yeah,
Something.
Yeah, man, worth it.
Yeah.
Nah,
And by the way, those lemons and limes were way better than anything that you would get from Gordon's or up to Kroger or wherever the hell.
Well, and that's why Keys has existed this long.
It is.
I mean, it's that, and you've got your people like Grandma. Grandma would rather go to Keys than go to Meijer.
You know, here's the problem, and they've sorted through this fine. Convenience. A retired guy on my lake knows the Keys is forever and goes there once a week for his produce.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to, but I'm like, I'm all right at the grocery store. I'm going to buy this produce. I don't want to make another stop.
Yeah,
but they've been dealing with that for decades.
Yeah, they're not. They don't stress Meijer.
I wonder if they can deliver to my house for $3.
I bet you they would.
Never thought of that. Get some Keys produce rolling.
Well, especially since there's more competition around, they want to grab as much as they can.
I don't know. I wonder how who's going to be the vendors at the farmers market.
Yeah, I always wondered that. Like, is it just anyone?
So Jackson already has 2 farmers markets. The one downtown, by the restaurant there.
Yeah.
On the river.
Yep. I know what you're talking about.
The brewery.
Yep.
And then there's one in the parking lot of the hospital.
Yeah, right across the street there. Yeah.
Right. And so now we're going to add
that's a big one.
It is.
I mean, the one by the Grand River isn't.
No, that's nothing cheesy.
And that one's been there forever.
But they sell more than just produce too. You can buy a belt and a cowboy hat.
Yeah, it's more like it's more like a produce flea market.
Yeah. I've been to the one downtown. I haven't been to stopped at the one in the.
Me neither, but the one.
But it's been there forever, 10 years.
Yeah, the one downtown's been there a long time.
Yeah,
I mean that's literally what. Well, since it became the brewery, because they used to have the farmers market inside.
I think maybe you're right.
I remember it
when the Secretary of State.
Secretary of State, and and you could buy like shaved ham and stuff.
That'll be a topic too at the January 20th County Commission meeting. The members of the GOP were, we're madder than hell over that. I'm like, okay, let's see what they have to offer. Mm-hmm. And on top of the fact that the Dems want to go down there and be mad about what happened in Minnesota to have the sheriff not hold ICE detainers anymore. I think the sheriff's going to hold tight on that.
I don't see
why
not.
We get paid.
It makes sense. I mean, it's not like we're hunting them if they get caught doing illegal things while they're illegal, by the way.
The sheriff said it. He has not the appetite, the resources, or anything to hunt down these warrant people and detain.
Yeah.
It just happens to be if we arrest you on another crime and there's an ICE detainer, we will hold for 48 hours.
Yeah.
I'm like, I thought all of law enforcement was supposed to do that.
No,
they don't. Yeah, I know they don't.
That's what
we're like one of the few counties doing it, or
Yeah, we were the first, I think.
I think he was. Sure. And to me that doesn't make sense. I always thought, oh, we got a guy. It's yours. We'll hold him until you get here. We'll beat him down with a baseball bat or whatever.
Hit him with a phone book or something.
We'll practice our tasing on someone for a while. I don't know, whatever the cops do down there.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been held on an ICE warrant.
No.
I was born here.
Though, I was talking to your Aunt Chrissy over the weekend celebrating our birthdays, and she works with a girl from Gaza Strip.
Oh.
And horrible story. Had to leave the Gaza to America. Their impression is Trump ain't down with the brown. And they worry, even though she's here legally, she's worried about getting snatched up from an ICE guy just walking down the street.
And that's not going to happen. And that's the thing is that's the media indoctrination that's going on.
So the ICE is targeting people they know have a detainer and that they can get rid of. And we found out that this person works here or lives here and they go after him. Not, hey, we better check that brown person, right?
Well, it's the same thing right after the Renee Good got shot. There was another ICE situation where a couple of Venezuelan gangsters got shot That's what ICE was doing. ICE was going after these Venezuelan gangsters. They weren't walking down the street and go, brown person, let's go.
Trump ain't down with the brown.
I mean, I think he knows he needs the brown to win.
Yeah, I know he does.
He did pretty good about that in the election. He got the Muslim vote, for the fuck's sake.
Yeah, matter of fact, Trump's going to be in Michigan tomorrow. Detroit Economic Club.
I just heard.
I have no access to that.
None.
Zero. No political insiders are allowed. I'm not part of the Detroit Economic Club. Plus, I think Susan Kilkin would be pissed off if we belonged to that, wouldn't we? I don't know. Maybe it's not that.
I don't know anything about
those guys. Those guys hustling our money.
I say, are those just like they're just sitting in really nice suits, sitting around a fire
for years,
smoking big cigars?
Yep.
Pork bellies are down 500 points.
Bankers controlling our lives.
Jews.
Susan did not say that.
I did. No, but it looks like the chat's pretty full of my other podcast fans, so they know.
They know.
They know.
I don't got nothing else to say, man.
Yeah, I don't got anything either.
Please buy your tickets to the forum. It's only $5 if you're a precinct delegate, or $10 if you're not. Meet these candidates. Doug Lloyd.
Yeah, real quick.
Kevin Kievsky.
Do you want to do a live read? We never do them on this show.
What's that? Oh.
Here, you see where I just pulled this up on the side?
Yep.
It'll pop up there, and then you just read what they tell you.
We did this once before.
Did we?
Yep.
I don't know why it's not accepting it. Give me a second. Time out, guys. Sometimes you have to reset it because Rumble's awesome. Here we go. All right, let's find the good one. I found it a second ago. Rumble Wallet. All right, so yeah, it'll be right there on the side. I might have to scroll a little, but I'll scroll slow. And you'll start right here. Where they can freeze.
They can freeze your accounts, shut off your cards, lock you out of your money overnight. Banks don't protect you. They control you. That's why real financial freedom starts with ownership. Introducing Rumble Wallet, a wallet built for people who refuse to give up control. With Rumble Wallet, you don't have to buy digital currency like Bitcoin and Tether. You can own Tether Gold, real gold, on the blockchain. Did I read that right?
Yeah.
Though Tether Gold, you get direct ownership of physical gold bars, each one fully allocated, verifiable in serial number, purity, and weight. This isn't paper gold. This is an IOU.
This isn't an IOU.
Isn't an IOU. That's what they're trying to sell, not an IOU.
Yeah.
This is real gold without bank vaults, storage fees, and gatekeepers. You can buy, sell, or move it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even when traditional gold markets are closed. And if you want, Tether Gold can be redeemed for any physical gold. That's power. And when you support creators on Rumble, you can tip them directly using Rumble Wallet. Do you have a Rumble Wallet?
We have a Rumble Wallet.
All right. Peer-to-peer, secure, and outside the banking system. No permissions, no middleman, no cancel button. No, the wallet is yours forever.
Forever. And yeah, guys, we do have a Rumble Wallet right below the video. You can press the tip button.
Send us some gold.
Yes, Bitcoin, gold tether, all kinds of stuff.
Do you think Mr. Burger accepts gold?
I don't know if we should ask.
Or the Shamrock?
Call Chris Long.
I honestly thought it was funny, the Mr. Burger angle.
Yeah, no, it was a good bit. It was just a very inside jokes that I think would.
We didn't even know what Mr. Burger was. It's a
we found one.
It's a burger chain in the Grand Rapids area. There's several of them, I guess, and we did drive by one. We did not stop. So I'm done for the day. See you Saturday at the candidate forum.
Yeah. Guys, jxngop.org. Don't forget to check that out. I put the Facebook in the chat. It's also down in the description.
I think Chris is updating it today. We got a couple things to take off and a couple things to add.
Yeah, check it out, guys. You can check out that Promethean Action, the video we just watched.
Boy, you know what? You take some time and go through the last month or two. Unbelievable what they talk about. Unbelievable. That's a good one on there.
Yeah, no, I've glanced through it before. And then there's a bunch of other podcasts on there as well. We're here every Monday at 2.
You know who else is on there? Grassroots Army.
Oh yeah, well he doesn't even. That's ours now.
Right.
We called it. You move your feet, you lose your seat. Make sure you like this channel and like the video. Follow the channel. There's the words.
One more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth Wednesday of every month at noon.
Mm-hmm.
All new podcast, Under the Oaks podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It is all Jackson GOP related, not a Russ and Kevin opinion or worry about Anthony Hudson and his bus. It's just maybe a guest and then stuff going on in the Jackson GOP.
And I'm just pushing the buttons.
I think that's it. We're going to change up. If I got thinking about it, Kevin, that could be a lot of work. So, yes, I don't have to host it every week. We'll have different hosts, but I'm going to have to prepare the show.
Yeah, kind of. I mean,
with Chris, he can wing it, but if I bring in a couple others, they're going to say, what do you want me to talk about?
Well, we can figure that out as we go.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's
anyways,
yeah.
Not Grassroots Army.
Mm-mm.
Under the Oaks
Not yet.
podcast.
I got to see if that trademark.
Last Wednesday of the month at noontime.
Yeah.
We'll eat burgers at Mr. Burger and then come over here and do a podcast.
Might as well. Yeah, so check that out, guys. We'll be promoting that more as well. We got 2 weeks still.
I guess so.
And other than that, guys, we'll see you next Monday.
See you guys.
Yep, have a good day.
You've been listening to a Grandma's Boy Media Production.